Hi everyone, welcome back, and we're going to be talking in this video about The Alchemist. It's a really great book. We really think that you're going to enjoy it if you pick it up and get one, but...
Yeah, it's a little different than the usual CAG book. This is a fictional tale.
Yeah.
It's more like a fairy tale. It's definitely something I recommend everyone read, and it's a tale for all ages. It's not just something that, as an adult you should read. You should, but it's also good for children.
Yeah.
The stats for this book are pretty amazing. It's sold over 65 million copies worldwide. The author, Paulo Coelho, wrote this book in 2 weeks. It's pretty amazing that this was all able to come out that quickly. He said it was already written in his soul, which is a pretty neat deal. Mm-hmm. It's a deep book. It's full of different... It's very symbolic. It's kind of a journey through your life, or the life of a young boy named Santiago, and it's full of messages and deep meaning. In fact, I think I mentioned this to you, Suzette.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant was interested in making this into a children's a book, and he wanted to work with Paulo Coelho. So he reached out to Paulo, and Paulo agreed. And he hadn't done anything with this book since he wrote it in 1988. And Kobe was able to talk him into doing it, and they started working together on a manuscript. And unfortunately, Kobe passed. So Paulo had that manuscript, and he just didn't feel like moving forward with it without Kobe. So he ended up burning it. So we'll never really know what that was going to look like, but that just goes to show the power of this book. It's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, and I think that it's a book that if you could introduce it to people that are younger in life, I think it could help them more, because it talks about your journey through life and the path that you want to take in your personal legend, and it's very deep. So it's something that I definitely would introduce to
absolutely,
to young kids.
Yeah, actually, my son has a copy. I don't know if I know in fact he hasn't read it yet. I'd like him to read it, and I know he will someday. My daughter has a copy. There's actually two versions. There's this regular print form, and there's also another form which is a graphic novel, more like a comic book. I've read both of them. I actually really like the comic book version. It's really easy to follow the tale, and kind of understand all the things that Santiago goes through. I don't want to give away the story because I really think it's important for the individual to read it and go through it. So this is a little different than the other reviews and videos. But it's a message that I think every individual will read and take their own story and compare it to the book. Because it's full of, you would think there's these times when Santiago goes through these struggles where he's robbed and he's beaten and all these bad things happen to him. But they end up being the treasure of the journey. And the journey is really what we're all kind of going through. We have ups and downs.
Yeah.
And they all make us wiser, even though it might seem like something that's the end and a good time to quit. They give you the wisdom that you need if you do not. It says that most people don't follow their personal journey or reach their personal legend because they don't. They fall into routine and they become fearful. And if we resist that fear and keep moving, then we possibly could reach our personal legend.
Yeah, and I think that's important to know is that as it talks about as like kids, we're dreamers, and we dream about what our lives could be and the possibilities of it. And as we get older, obstacles in life and things just get in the way, and we stop dreaming. Yeah. And I think this book is really cool. I think it's something that I love that it's a fictional story too, like a parable, of sorts.
And just the levels when you go through the book, and you could read this book 10 to 20 times, and each time find some other little meaning in it because it's just so deep and full of meaning.
Well, even before preparing for this video, I told you, I was like, I read the book again and I started highlighting things that I didn't even highlight before. Yeah. And you kind of look at the story and oh, well, does the sheep represent this in the life? Or does does this person that he encounters represent, something else? And so, yeah, you're right. It opens your eyes even more. So I think it's great to reread.
Well, this morning I opened it up and I found one line that was said that a blessing not followed becomes a curse. And just these little things, it's just full of that. And it's pretty amazing.
Nuggets
really
of wisdom.
Tons of them.
Yes.
It's just full of it. and it's so surprising too, because the books that we traditionally read are, they're very structured with principles, and and they're almost they can become a little mundane going through these books with all these principles, and they're it's a nice break, I guess.
Yes.
is what this is.
Yes. Yeah, and we have these books here. If you're interested in reading them, please contact Chris or myself or the marketing team, and we can certainly get you a copy of this.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I wouldn't say just because this one is a graphic novel and it's like a comic book that it would be any less worthy of reading than this one, honestly. It just depends on what your choice is. And come see me, the marketing team, Suzette. I'd be happy to prescribe you this book.
All right, that kind of wraps up The Alchemist. If you need anything, reach out to us. We hope that you get a book, and we hope that you enjoy it. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.